For weeks, you all have studied from a parent's perspective the Beyond Parenting model, the model that I've been raised by. Have you ever wondered what this model looks like from a child's point of view? Tonight, I would like to inform you about the Beyond Parenting model from a daughter's perspective. You will hear my explanation of the model, examples of the model in my life, and how this model has impacted me. Let's start with my explanation of the Beyond Parenting model. Human beings have three parts: the body, the soul, and the spirit. Parents meet our physical needs and the needs of the body by providing. Mentors meet our emotional needs, the needs of our souls, by imparting. Mentoring is even mentioned in the Bible, as in Proverbs 9:9. Instruct a wise man, and he will be wiser still. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning. This is talking about mentoring. It teaches and imparts wisdom. Coaching, the third part, meets our spiritual needs by extracting. John Whitmore, the executive chairman of Performance Consultants, defines coaching as the following. Coaching is an unlocking a person's potential to maximize their own performance. It is helping them to learn rather than teaching them. Coaching develops one's thinking ability and the skill to be able to find answers on your own. Now that you see the Beyond Parenting model how I see it, we can see examples of the model in my life. There are 2 instances this year in which I can see how my parents have implemented the Beyond Parenting model, specifically the areas of mentor and coach. Earlier this year, I hyperextended my knee in a soccer game, and this took me out of the entire season. It was only the 3rd game of the season. I was super excited for the season. It was on a brand new team, and we were doing very well. I scored in the first couple games, and then this injury comes, and I got completely knocked out. And this completely depleted me morally. I even had to wear this exact knee brace for about 4 weeks in this thing, even just to be around the house. Going to school, anything, I had to use this. My leg was always at a 45-degree angle, so I was in physical pain, but then there was also a lot of emotional pain. And my parents talked to me about it, and they tried to help me through it. And of course, all 3 of them were very supportive, my family as well. And they all helped me. But even 2 weeks after the injury, I was in the same state of extreme sadness. I mean, it was probably close to depression. It was the saddest state I've ever been in my life. And on the 2nd week of the injury, my dad came into my room on one of these restless nights, and he asked me if I wanted to know why he thought this was depleting me morally, why I took it so hard. And I didn't really respond, but he continued, and he said that it was probably because soccer was too important to me, and that I put it in the wrong place in my life, that I had over-prioritized it. Again, I didn't respond, and it was something that I was probably very unwilling to hear at the time, but it ended up being my greatest takeaway from the entire experience, that soccer was too important to me in my life. And because of my dad's mentoring, I've been able to reset its priority, and now it's set in the right place in my life. And this is how mentoring has helped me. Now for coaching, I've had this problem maybe the past 3 years or so of extreme shyness. In groups, I would get this shyness that my body would tighten up and my mind would go blank, and I would almost feel like I was about to sweat, and just all these different symptoms, these weird things, and I didn't know what it was. I just thought, of course, that I was just really, really shy, just scared or something like that. So I asked my parents about that in July and in August, and we worked through it, and through coaching they were able to help me. So my dad asked me about all different kinds of situations, if it was maybe a certain situation, certain groups of people, certain ages of people, certain types of people, if it was something with me, did I have any preconceived notions going into certain groups or situations. And eventually through coaching we were able to find out that this was more of a spiritual problem. And knowing the root cause of the problem, we were able to attack it spiritually with prayer. And since then, I have not experienced any of that frightness, that fright, the tension. None of that. I haven't experienced that since then. And I've been in most of the same situations that used to cause it. And that allowed me to free the area of my life because of coaching. So now that you've seen examples of this, we can see how this model has impacted me as a person. It has had a very profound impact on me in my life, especially because it's allowed the wholesome and complete development of all 3 parts of my being. We can use this tripod, this easel, as an example. It has 3 legs, just as human beings have 3 parts. And when they're all stable and equally balanced, it can stand on its own. Now, if you only raise one leg, pretend this is the body, then this stand is out of balance, and it will not stand on its own. If we raise a second leg, it's a little bit more balanced, but it still won't stand. And if we raise the 3rd leg, this was the spirit, this easel can now stand on its own. In the same way, my 3 parts of my body, my person, they have all developed equally. And that has given me 2 main things. I have security, and I have stability because of it. Tonight I've informed you about the Beyond Parenting model. You've seen examples of the model in my life, how I explained the Beyond Parenting model, and the impact it's had on me as a person. Based on my experience as a daughter, the Beyond Parenting model helps parents accomplish a simple command given to them in Proverbs 22:6. By implementing this model, they can train a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Thank you all for your time.